Baby, you're a stitch man. Baby, you're a stitch man. Baby, you're a stitch man. Duh. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Oh, hey, Flosstube. It's me, your old pal Stitchman. I'm giggling because I realized as I was about to put this video together that I didn't film an intro. And so this is actually the last thing that I'm filming. I changed my sweater to try to give you the illusion that this is actually a different time or a different day, but yeah, it's not. Like, this stuff, you can tell by my background that it's not Christmas anymore, and there's like, something on the wall you're not supposed to see yet. Ooh, let's just save that for later. That's supposed to be a big surprise. So trying something a little bit different this time. This was inspired by my friend Emma and her Flossmas videos that I've been watching, which you should be watching too, or you should be watching Emma X Stitching, one of my best good friends. This is not unique to her or unique to me, although I'll take credit for it if you want to give it to me. But she's been instead of like filming a Flossmas thing every single day, she's been doing it like a little bit each day and then like posting once a week, piecing it all together. And I was just sitting there watching one of them and just, it just hit me like, I think I like this. I want to try that. And I did. I didn't even let her finish her video. I just paused it and stole it. So that's what we're about to do today. I've been, over the last week or so, I've been filming little bits and pieces as I go, piece them all together. So instead of just sitting here and retelling you all the things I've been doing, we can experience it in real time together, except for this, which should not be hanging on my wall at this point just yet. Let's just pretend we don't see that. All right, let's get going. Hey there, Flosstube. You caught me red-handed, white-handed in my natural habitat, my actual stitching spot, my little stitching nook, actually stitching right now. Isn't this exciting? Anyway, here I am, as I probably already explained to you, doing trying out a new thing. Let's get my thoughts out as they come instead of trying to remember them after the fact. And you probably heard all this already. Didn't even wait for Emma's video to end before stealing her idea. She's paused on my TV right now, and I thought, you know what? I want to try something like this maybe for my next Flosstube with the, film a little bit here and there each day or whatever and piece it all together. So today is December 26th. Christmas was yesterday. Christmas is great. I love Christmas. You all, if you've been watching me for however long, probably already know how much I love Christmas. It's my favorite time of year. It's my favorite day of the year. I love Christmas. This Christmas, admittedly, was a little bit more of a roller coaster of emotions than previous Christmases. Tried to keep it under control as much as I possibly could. Keep everything fun for everyone. Make everything fun for Dylan and fun for me, because I don't want to be sad at Christmas. I love Christmas. It wasn't easy though. It was not always easy. Christmas Eve in particular, sorry, it's hard to talk and stitch at the same time. Not really a multitasker. I'm more of a unitasker. Christmas Eve was particularly difficult for me. I spent Christmas with my mom, my stepdad, and Dylan, my son Dylan. At least Dylan was with me Christmas Eve and Christmas morning, which was great. That softened the blow quite a bit to at least have him with me. Imagine I would have just fallen apart if I didn't even have that. And we had a big friends and family gathering at my mom's house, and snacks and food and beer and conversation and good visiting and all that kind of stuff. Was great. That's one of my favorite times of the year, like days of the year, is Christmas Eve. The Christmas Eve gathering at my mom's house. We've been doing it for as long as I can remember. I love it, and it was great. And it was great this year too. So what's the problem? Well, I stay up much later than everybody else. So after everybody left and everybody went to bed and Dylan fell asleep, and so there I am on Christmas Eve, left by myself. You can already imagine this sad little Charlie Brown picture that I'm going to paint here. Just just left all by myself on Christmas Eve, sitting by the tree, staring at the tree and the presents. And like, I'm excited because I love Christmas, but like, you know, normally I would not be sitting there by myself. I would have been sitting there with Melissa. Not gonna lie, I missed it. I started to get a little sentimental. I started to get a little sad. I'm getting a little sad right now as I'm talking about it. It was not the usual Christmas Eve experience that I'm used to, sitting there by myself, you know, remembering the Christmases of the last several years where I would not have been sitting there by myself. I started to cry a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I did, but I tried. I snapped myself out of it, and like, you know, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I don't want to be sad on Christmas. I love Christmas. I want to be happy on Christmas. So I did snap myself out of it, and I started to get excited, and then I stitched for a little bit, and that made me feel better, and I watched something, probably Die Hard or Jimmy Stewart or something. I was whatever I could think of to, like, you know, things that I love about Christmas. And then I went to bed and got up, and by morning I was just as excited as a little kid. I've never gotten over the excitement of Christmas morning, and Christmas morning was great, and Dylan was excited, and we were ripping into stuff, and he, like, you know, watching him and how excited he was, and I still feel that same excitement. It doesn't matter how old I get. Christmas morning was great. So there was none of that on Christmas morning, but Christmas Eve was a little tough for me. And I did manage, I'm sure you saw it on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, I did manage to finish Chessie and frame Chessie, and I got Chessie all wrapped up and under the tree for Dylan. I did it. I did it on time for Christmas this year. I'd almost given up on it for even finishing it this year, but I did it. It's done. He's hanging on the wall right now. I'll turn the camera around and show you in a few minutes. I'm looking at him right now on the wall. Chessie. It's weird. It's really, really weird. I know Dylan's only 6 and doesn't necessarily appreciate, you know, all the work that went into it or whatever, but he loved it, and he knows stitching. He's been around stitching his entire life. He knows, he does know the work that goes into it, and has an appreciation for it, and you know, likes it, and, you know, at a 6-year-old level, but like, he did love it, and he'll love it as he gets older too. Like, you know, it's a special thing to have a thing like that from Dad, don't you think? He'll have that his whole life. So that was that, and now it's the day after Christmas. Dylan is back with Melissa. That's okay. I mean, none of it's really okay. I'm not really okay with anything that's been happening in my life for the last 6 months, but what are you gonna do? You know, you move forward or you give up, and I'm not ready to give up just yet. I've got a lot of happiness ahead of me, right, guys?
That's right.
So enough of that. So what am I stitching on? Well, keeping it on the theme of happiness, I don't have a project currently that I have going, like, for a specific purpose, like, you know, like a gift for somebody, or like, you know, Chessie was going to be for Dylan, like that kind of thing. I don't have anything like that anymore. I will have to stitch some more things, like some models for my, you know, table when I go to markets and stuff like that, because I don't want to just bring the same things over and over. But, you know, it's the slowest season of the year. I have absolutely nothing lined up until April right now. So I don't know if anything even happens in the winter, or what I'm going to be doing other than just focusing on online stuff. But I've got some time. I've got some time coming up, so I'm reevaluating what it is I want to be working on. And right now, what I want to be working on is stuff that just makes me feel good. And that's the only criteria. That's my only, it doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't matter who it's for or what purpose I'm doing it. I just want to do something that makes me feel good for once. And having pulled out all of my whips and looked at all of them, the one that immediately jumped out at me as one that makes me feel happy to just look at and is making me feel good to work on is the forgotten stitch along from 3 years ago, 4 years ago. How long ago did we start the stitch along? Sunflower Cottage. I have actually been working on Sunflower Cottage. Who knows? Do I have if I can find out how long it's been since I worked on this and what it looked like last time? I think I have a Jacob song to go along with this, so that might be worth digging out.
Sun is out and all is good, shines on our neighborhood and the Sunflower Cottage. Flowers reach toward the sky, love is in the air, and I don't know why I love the Sunflower Cottage. Oh, I love the Sunflower Cottage, but I don't know why.
And this is what it looks like as I sit here currently stitching it right now in this moment. This is what it looks like. Not bad for just a couple of days. I've finished filling in this area, and look at me not just going square by square anymore. I went around this. I'm trying to just fill in, like, you know, get the shape of the heart going and fill in this, whatever this thing is on the side here, because the whole rest of this entire area is the same color blue. So if I figure if I can just get down in this area, I can just mindlessly fill this in blue, and then, you know, this heart is only a couple of colors too, so I can get a good, you know, half page done without a whole lot of effort. I mean, it's a little bit of effort, but you know what I mean. so that's what I'm doing right now as we speak. Sunflower Cottage. And one other thing that I've got ready to go that I haven't started yet, but in keeping with the theme of happiness, I actually have a chart called Happiness. And it's primarily red. And my favorite color is red. Red makes me happy. I love stitching red. I love looking at red. I love red. I mean, there's a lot of yellow in here too. That's fine. But, you know, I love this. I talked about it a long time ago. I thought I might start it like 3 years ago, and I didn't. It's time. It's time. I need a little happiness in my life. And this one is actually called Happiness. It's a sign, don't you think? So here's what it currently looks like. Pretty great, right? Haven't started it yet. This is where the first stitch is going to be, though, when I do start it. So, you know, I'll probably finish off this, like, section of sunflower that I was telling you about and fill it in so it looks like I did a decent amount, and then maybe I'll switch to happiness and find a little happiness. I'm due for some happiness, don't you think?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
All right, so I think that's probably it for December 26th. I'll stand up briefly and I'll show you where Chessie's hanging. I'll give you a little shot of maple for the maple lovers out there, and then we'll do this again another day. How about that? So here you go. Here's Chessie hanging on the wall of my little makeshift living room down here. Oh, wait, that's not Chessie. That's Audrey Hepburn. There's Chessie right there. Sorry for the glare for the light up here and for me waving behind here. Hey, look, it's me. It's actually not that dramatic in real life when I stand here and look at it. It doesn't really seem like it's glaring that much, but you can really notice it in the camera. But whatever, we'll just have to deal with it. There's Chessie hanging on the wall. I framed him myself. I got him up there. Granted, it's good. It's good. I'm happy enough with it that, like, he's up on the wall and I'm happy with him. I may someday take him out and do him a little bit better. It was kind of a rush job. I couldn't find the right size frame, although he looks like he fits pretty well, but it really wasn't the right size. And I had to stretch with all my might to try to get him to fit in there. And, you know, didn't quite make it in a couple. If you want to be real nitpicky about it, you can kind of get in there if you look at it at certain angles. Like, it was really, really, I think if it was half an inch less, it would have been a lot easier. But, you know, for now, for the sake of having him on the wall. Also, I don't know if I shouldn't point out these imperfections, but I didn't notice until I hung it on the wall. And, when I screwed the screws in on the other side for the thing to hang it on the wall, the screws must have been just a little bit too big, and you can kind of see where they almost poked through the frame. Right there and right there. Ah, shit. I might even just get this same frame again. It wasn't that expensive, and just like get smaller screws. If I I know that's nitpicky, but like now that I see it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have even pointed it out to you because it looks ridiculous. But anyway, I didn't notice that at first, but shit. Fuck. Anyway, all that to say, Chessie's finished. Chessie's framed. Chessie's up on the wall. And I am quite thrilled about that. And unfortunately for those maple lovers among us, when I stood up out of my spot, I scared her away. But this is where she sleeps, on this little basket that I have a bunch of blankets on top of as a, a nice little nest for her. You can see her little indent there. That's where she was a few minutes ago. Does that count for anything? And this is my tiny little sad little pink looking couch that I sit and stitch on. That's my little stitching nook. See? There it is right there. Isn't it cute? A little behind the scenes for you. Oh, hey, Flosstube. Me again. A couple days after the last time I filmed. Do you like this new format? I'm not sold on it just yet, but I'm committed to it now, so we'll see how this one goes. It's about 2 days later. I just want to pop on here real quick because I'm about to do something crazy, and it occurred to me that this is probably a good opportunity to tell you what I'm about to do before I do it, so that I don't have to talk about it after, right? I can tell you ahead of time. Isn't that the whole point of this? Look at this pimply looking thing I've got going on here. What am I, 12 years old? What the fuck? Anyway, real quick, before I tell you about the crazy thing I'm about to do, let me show you quick progress on what I've been working on so far. This is how much I've done on sunflower since the last time we spoke, just a couple of days ago. Pretty good, right? It's quite a bit. It feels like it's going really fast. I haven't touched this in, 2 years? Now all of a sudden it's just filling in. I haven't worked on anything else but this in the last 2 days. And I'll probably keep going until this heart section is filled in and the rest of this blue is filled in. And then I'll probably put it down for a little bit and switch to something else. Maybe happiness that I told you about, or hang on, I've got one other thing, and you're probably going to make fun of me for it, but hear me out. So even though I've said I don't want to just keep stitching the same things over and over and like redoing things that are already done. Hear me out. I've been, since you might have noticed, taking down all of my Christmas stuff. I've been sort of like rearranging stuff, and and I don't have any markets lined up in the near future, at least in the next couple of months. So I've been putting a few of my stitchings up on the wall, which I normally don't do because I just keep carting them back and forth to market, and put them up on the wall, take them down off the wall, and it's a whole thing. So I usually just keep them not hanging. But I hung some stuff and I put some stuff around. Look, we all go a little mad sometimes, and yippee-ki-yays over here over my shoulder. I've got some stuff hanging up, which is making me feel good. I like having like a shrine to myself in my own space. I'm my own biggest fan. Anyway, this one that I've got here, oh my god, this one. This is one that I would like to have on my wall permanently and not have to take it back and forth to markets. I mean, most of them I would prefer that, but I'm not going to stitch everything twice. But this one in particular, I would prefer to just have on my wall and keep it on my wall. And I feel like it doesn't violate my stitch the same things over and over semi-rule because I didn't stitch this one. Melissa stitched this. So technically, I wouldn't be stitching it again. I've never stitched this in the first place. So, and it's not too big, and it's not too, it wouldn't take too long, and, something to work on in between. Like, I'm not always in the mood for a full coverage or something too complicated, something that only has a couple of colors, and, I can pick away at it over a couple of weeks and it'll be done. I might start this up just to have it done in the next month or so and just have it on my wall and keep it on my wall, because I would like to just have it and keep it. Okay, so the thing that I'm about to do, that I'm going to tell you about first, we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to show, I know you probably the best opportunity here would be to actually show me actually doing it, which I'm not going to do. I don't like showing the process of doing stuff because it's very chaotic. I just like to tell you about it ahead of time, show you about it after, and you can fill in the gaps in between and just assume I know what I'm doing, which I don't. Anyway, I'm thinking, because now, as you can see, I'm like a framer extraordinaire, and I'm kind of comfortable enough that I feel like I can frame cross-stitch stuff and know what I'm doing, ish. Enough. I know enough. So I'm about to dive into my biggest undertaking ever. Remember this? My great big princess with a Himalayan cat, heaven and earth design that I finished all those years ago? Well, I am going to attempt to frame this myself as soon as I turn this camera off. So this took me 9 years on and off to finish this, and it has since been rolled up in my closet for another 3 years. It's been 3 years since I finished this, and it's just been rolled up in a ball sitting in my closet for those 3 years. What a crime that is. It's time now that I know how to frame stuff, it's time to get her up on the wall, don't you think? The time has come. So this is the frame that I've picked out. It's not exactly perfect, but for the price and for like the sake of not ordering something custom, I think it's gonna work just fine. I'm gonna lose about, I don't know if you can see here. I'm gonna lose maybe half an inch this way up and down, which is fine. It'll actually make it easier to frame, and I'm not going to lose anything important. And this way, this frame is about maybe a half an inch or a quarter of an inch too wide. But fingers crossed, when I stretch the thing, it'll be fine. So, it's not perfect. A half an inch one way, a half an inch the other way. But, for the sake of, this was a regular like $100 frame, and it was on clearance for $30. $30. And it's very, very close to the right size, and I think it's going to look good. I'm going to mount it on this black board and stretch it, and I'm going to pop it in this frame. Simple as that. I make it sound so easy. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of cursing, but I'm going to try it, and I'll show you the results of that if it looks good. I think I'm going to put it here on this wall where this John Lennon picture is, and maybe rearrange some stuff a little bit, hang some different stuff, turn this into just a wall of stitching kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it looks. Check it out, motherfuckers. Whoa, there she is, up on the wall. The end. Well, there you have it. 12 years after the first stitches went in, she's finally framed and up on the wall. It took me 9 years to finish her, and another 3 years rolled up sitting in the top shelf of my closet. What a sad state of affairs that was. But look, now I know how to frame stuff, or so it would seem. And yes, I did that myself, and it worked. Kinda. No, it did. No, I don't like to show you the reason. I know a lot of people have asked me, can you show me the process of framing? Like, teach us how to frame. It's a messy process. You might not. I said to Ryan today, the chaos of the process is at a step with the awesomeness of the final product. It's not a professional looking process to get it to look like this. So I prefer to just let you see it finished and let you live under the misguided illusion that I really know what I'm doing. I'm quite happy though. I'm really, really happy with this. And like, for the price, like this was kind of an expensive frame, but I got an amazing sale on it. It cost me $30. $30 for that frame. So for the frame and for the board that I stretched and mounted it on, and for the little wire hanger to hang it on the wall, altogether, grand total cost me about $45. And there she is on the, look at her. That's a $45 job. Now, how much do you think I would have paid if I would have taken that to a professional or taken that to Michael's or something like that and got them to do it for me? I mean, this over here, Nevermore, I paid about $200 for that. And that's about, I don't know, a quarter of the size of that. That cost me almost $200. And it's good. Like, it's, I had no ability to do that at the time. So I was more than willing to pay. But, you know, knowing what I know now, not going to lie, I love it. I'm not complaining about it. I love it. But, you know, I think I could have done just as good for 20 or 30 bucks. Anyway, there she is. I don't have a whole lot more to say about her. I've just been standing here in the middle of the room just staring at her. I'm just so happy. I'm happy with the work that I did. I'm happy with how it turned out. You know, if I can frame this, I can frame anything, don't you think? Oh, speaking of which, hang on a second. I did also fix Chessie. I reframed Chessie in a new frame with, you know, that I liked better. I fixed all the imperfections, the little, you know, the things on the side where it wasn't quite filling out, and the screws that were poking through on the sides, all fixed. It looks much better. It looks much more professional. I'm much happy with it. I was a little, you know, I was rushed. Give me a break. I was rushed to get it under the tree in time for Christmas so that Dylan could open it. And for, you know, the materials I had at the time and the time that I had to do it, I thought I did a pretty good job. But, you know, take a little bit of extra time and think about what I'm doing. It looks much better. Don't you think? I think so.
That's right. That's right.
I might as well, as long as I'm here, give you a quick little update on what I'm working on for the rest of the evening. Here's what Sunflower Cottage looks like so far. Work has continued. I'm filling in this heart section here, and the rest of this is all just the same color blue. And once I finish that, I'll probably move on to something else, but we'll see, because I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So, you know, whatever makes me happy, that's what I'm going to be doing. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers!
There's Maple. What a pretty girl. What a pretty girl.
Where you going? Where you going? I think it's time to dye a little bit of fabric together down here in our little dyeing dungeon, don't you? I think we'll do a little bit of Tangled Up in Blue today. So we got a little, here's my little baskets of currently in use and backups. We're going to grab this blue, and we're going to grab, nope, yep, this one. We shake it up, and then we shake it up, and then we snap our fingers. Ta-da! Tangled Up in Blue. All done, hanging up to dry. Just with the snap of your fingers. Simple as that. Available in my shop to purchase right now. Who wants some? And hey, check this out. Here's a nice little treat for you. Look at this guy. What? Whoa, Dylan. Remember when he was just a tiny little toddler toddling around? How old are you now? You're 6 years old? That doesn't seem right. Are you sure? Do you have anything you want to say to your friend Betsy?
Pee pee poo poo, you're a fart.
All right, one last little update to show you what I've been working on, and I think I'll have enough for a full video. Seems weird. These little 5-minute segments don't seem like anything at all, but I think I've got like 35 or 40 minutes worth already somehow. So I finished off the chunk of Sunflower Cottage that I've been working on, and I like it. Do you like it? Time now for a big decision. Am I going to move on to something else, or am I going to keep working on this? I am really looking forward to starting this one, and I've got it all ready to go. So that's a strong possibility. But on the other hand, I have really, really, really been enjoying working on this after just like sort of shelving it for, I don't know, 2 years and not even knowing if I was going to go back to it. I've really been enjoying this, and I know that that's not going to last forever. I am going to burn out on this and want to move on to something else, but like, so part of me is thinking like maybe I should just keep going with this while I'm into it, get as much done as I can while I'm actually into it. So I might. We'll see. I'll have both of them in front of me later on tonight, and I'll decide then. Do I keep going? Do I start happiness? I don't know. Tough decisions. These are really hard decisions. So that's about it for what's been keeping me busy over the last week. I've been dyeing fabric too, and you've been buying it again. Thank you. Strike is over. I can send it to you. I've got a few 16 counts. I know I usually do 18 count because that's what I like best, but it's all about me. But I've got some 16 counts now that I did yesterday. More of that coming. Maybe some more different sizes, some different types of fabrics coming too. You know, it doesn't all have to be just about me and what I like. 18 counts, and that's all you're going to get. I can do other things. So what do you think? Do you like this new food? So it's not new. It's not like I created this. Although if you want to give me credit for it, I'll take it. But this, like, you know, little segments and piece them all together. It hasn't been, I don't know if it's maybe not been too exciting because I've just been like, you know, down here in this room basically for the last week. But partially I was thinking, you know, as the year goes on, especially when I'm out in the world and I'm at markets and I'm at craft shows and I'm doing all these exciting things, rather than coming back here and sitting at this desk and telling you about it, I could bring you with me. Wouldn't that be fun? I think that would be fun. Also, selfishly, this feels like much less work for me. These like little chunks at a time, and I've been editing as I go. Like, other than me sitting here right now, the video is pretty much done and ready to go, and it doesn't really feel like it's been that much work. And I like getting things done without doing a whole lot of work. Anyway, I think I'll try this again next time, and maybe not every time, but maybe, I don't know. Get some markets lined up, get some fun things lined up, take you out into the world with me, drive around. Let's go to Michael's together and do some shopping. I don't know, something. Anyway, until then, keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Woo-hoo-hoo.